The Power of Tiny Changes, a Guide to Atomic Habits. Imagine waking up one day and realizing your life is the result of 1,000 small choices. Every decision, whether to hit snooze or get up, to grab a salad or a burger, to read a book or scroll endlessly, has been shaping your future. James Clear's Atomic Habits is a roadmap to mastering these small decisions, showing us how tiny, seemingly insignificant habits can lead to massive personal transformation. What if I told you that just 1% improvement each day could make you unrecognizable in a year? Stick around and I'll show you how. From broken bat to bestseller, the James Clear story. Ever heard the saying, "What doesn't kill you makes you stronger"? Well, James Clear's story is a powerful testament to that. It wasn't some sudden epiphany or overnight success. It started with a shattering blow. Literally, during a high school baseball game, a bat shattered, sending a piece flying, hitting him squarely in the face. Think about that for a second, the kind of impact that could derail anyone. This wasn't just a minor setback. It was a devastating injury that left him struggling, not just physically, but mentally. Imagine the frustration, the doubt, the sheer effort it took to simply regain what he'd lost. But here's where the story takes a turn. Instead of succumbing to despair, Clear channeled his energy into something extraordinary. The power of small, consistent improvements. He began meticulously tracking his progress, focusing on the tiny details that others overlooked. He became obsessed with the science of habits. This wasn't just about physical recovery anymore. It was about mastering the art of self-improvement. He discovered that true transformation wasn't about giant leaps, but about tiny, almost imperceptible steps. And that's the foundation of Atomic Habits. It's not just another self-help book filled with empty promises. It's a practical, evidence-based guide born from personal experience, from the trenches of struggle and recovery. In Atomic Habits, Clear pulls back the curtain on how habits actually work. He reveals why they're so darn hard to break, and more importantly, how small, manageable changes can lead to truly remarkable results. He distills complex scientific principles into simple, actionable strategies that anyone can use. And at the heart of it all is this powerful idea. Every action you take, no matter how small, is a vote for the person you wish to become. Every time you choose to read a page instead of scrolling, every time you choose a salad over a burger, you're casting a vote for your future self. Atomic Habits shows you how to cast those votes wisely. The 1% Advantage, how British cycling transformed from failure to glory. Picture this. The year is 2003, the British cycling team. For a century, they were the laughing stock of the cycling world. A consistent record of, consistent losing. They were so bad that some joked their bikes were held together with hope and duct tape. Nobody expected them to win, least of all themselves. Then, a new coach arrived, Dave Brailsford. Now, most coaches would have come in with grand pronouncements, demanding drastic changes, overhauling everything at once. But Brailsford took a different approach. He understood something profound, the power of tiny gains. He called it the aggregation of marginal gains. His philosophy? Forget about massive overhauls. Focus on the 1% improvements. What does that mean in practice? Well, Brailsford and his team meticulously examined every single aspect of cycling. Not just the obvious things like training and equipment, but the tiny details. They adjusted bike seats for optimal comfort. They refined nutrition plans down to the micronutrient level. They even optimized sleep, testing different mattresses and pillows to ensure the riders got the best possible rest. Think about that. They were obsessed with the details. And the result? Within 5 years, the British cycling team went from being a joke to dominating the Olympics. They won a staggering 60% of all gold medals. Not just a little improvement, complete domination. And it wasn't a fluke. They continued their success for years to come. The lesson here is profound. Success isn't about massive, dramatic changes. It's about mastering the tiny details. It's about consistently making those 1% improvements day in and day out. Because those small gains, when compounded over time, lead to extraordinary results. That's the power of atomic habits. And it's the foundation for everything we're going to explore in this book. Becoming the person you want to be. The identity shift. Let's talk about quitting smoking. Imagine two people in the same situation. Someone offers them a cigarette. The first person says, "No thanks, I'm trying to quit." They're still identifying as a smoker, even if they're trying to change. The second person, they simply say, "No thanks, I'm not a smoker." Subtle difference, right? But it's a world of difference. The second person has made a crucial shift. They've changed their identity. They no longer see themselves as a smoker. They've internalized the change, making success almost inevitable. And that's the key to lasting habit change. It's not just about what you do. It's about who you become. Let's say you want to become a reader. You might set a goal to read for an hour every day. Ambitious, right? But what if you're not a reader yet? What if the thought of reading for an hour feels overwhelming, even daunting? You might start strong for a few days, but eventually you'll probably fall off track. Now imagine a different approach. Instead of focusing on the action of reading, focus on the identity. Start by saying, "I am a reader." And then make the action so small, it's impossible to fail. Instead of an hour, read just 1 page a day. Ridiculously small, right? But that's the point. You're not just reading a page. You're reinforcing your new identity. You're becoming a reader, 1 page at a time. James Clear argues that true habit change happens at the deepest level, the level of identity. When you change your beliefs about who you are, you naturally change your actions. It's not about forcing yourself to do something you don't believe you are. It's about becoming the person who effortlessly does those things. So, if you want to build lasting habits, don't just focus on what you want to achieve. Focus on who you want to become. What kind of person do you want to be? A reader, an athlete, a writer? Start by identifying with that person and then take small, consistent steps to embody that identity. Because when your habits align with your identity, success becomes not just likely, but almost inevitable. The habit loop. Mastering the engine of your actions. Ever walked into a room and suddenly smelled freshly baked cookies? Instantly, your mouth starts watering. You crave it. That irresistible urge, that's the habit loop in action. It's the engine that drives all our habits, good and bad. And understanding how it works is crucial to taking control of your actions. The habit loop is a 4-stage process. First, there's the cue. This is the trigger, the signal that initiates the behavior. In our cookie example, the cue is the smell of the cookies. It could be anything: a time of day, a location, even an emotion. Next comes the craving. This is the desire for the reward, the feeling you get when you anticipate the pleasure of eating that warm, gooey cookie. It's not just about the cookie itself, it's about the feeling of satisfaction, the little burst of dopamine. Then there's the response, the actual habit itself. In this case, it's eating the cookie. This is the action you take in response to the cue and the craving. Finally, there's the reward. This is the satisfying feeling you get after completing the habit. The taste of the cookie, the feeling of pleasure, the sense of satisfaction. This reward reinforces the habit loop, making you more likely to repeat the process in the future. So, cue, craving, response, reward. It's a powerful cycle, and it's happening all the time, often without us even realizing it. But here's the good news. Once you understand how the habit loop works, you can start to take control. Let's say you want to break a bad habit, like snacking on junk food while you work. The key is to disrupt the habit loop, and the easiest way to do that: remove the cue. Want to stop snacking? Keep the junk food out of sight. If it's not there, you won't smell it, you won't crave it, and you won't eat it. It sounds simple, but it's incredibly effective. Control the triggers, and you control the habit. By understanding the habit loop, you can start to reshape your behaviors and build the habits that will lead you to the person you want to become. The 4 laws, mastering habit formation. Ever wonder why some habits stick while others fall by the wayside? Think about your morning routine. You might brush your teeth without even thinking, but struggle to meditate consistently. James Clear breaks down the science of habit formation into 4 golden rules, the 4 laws of behavior change, that can help you build good habits and break bad ones. First, make it obvious. You need to make your cues clear and visible. Want to drink more water? Keep a water bottle on your desk, in plain sight. Want to read more? Leave a book open on your nightstand. The more obvious the cue, the more likely you are to act. Second, make it attractive. We're more likely to do things we find enjoyable. Pair a new habit with something you already like. Want to exercise more? Listen to your favorite podcast while you run. Want to learn a new language? Watch foreign films with subtitles. Make the habit itself more appealing. Third, make it easy. Reduce the friction between you and the habit. Want to eat healthier? Meal prep your meals in advance. Want to learn to play guitar? Keep your guitar readily accessible. The easier it is to do something, the more likely you are to do it. Finally, make it satisfying. We're more likely to repeat behaviors that give us a sense of reward. Celebrate your progress. Track your habits in a journal. Tell a friend about your goals. The more satisfying the habit, the more likely it is to stick. Make it obvious. Make it attractive. Make it easy. Make it satisfying. These 4 laws work together to create a powerful framework for habit change. They're not just tips or tricks. They're fundamental principles of human behavior. The key takeaway? Design your environment for success. Don't rely on willpower or motivation. Instead, create a world that makes good habits effortless and bad habits difficult. By understanding and applying the 4 laws, you can become the architect of your own habits and build the life you want. The 2-minute rule. Overcoming procrastination with small steps. Ever started a workout plan only to quit after a week? Or promised yourself you'd write a novel, but never got past the first page? We've all been there. The problem? We often try to do too much too soon. We set our sights on ambitious goals, but the sheer size of the task can be paralyzing. James Clear offers a brilliant solution to this problem, the 2-minute rule. It's a simple but powerful strategy that can help you overcome procrastination and build lasting habits. The core idea? Shrink your habits down until they're so small, they're impossible to fail. Let's say you want to start meditating. Instead of saying, "I'll meditate for 30 minutes every morning," which can feel daunting, especially when you're just starting out. Shrink it down. Say, "I'll take 1 deep breath. Just 1 deep breath. That's it." It's so easy, you can't not do it. Now, you might be thinking, what's the point of just 1 breath? The point isn't the breath itself. It's about establishing the habit of showing up. Once you've made that initial step, Once you've made meditation a regular part of your routine, you can gradually build on it. You can increase the duration to 2 breaths, then 5, then 10. Before you know it, you'll be meditating for 30 minutes without even thinking about it. The 2-minute rule applies to any habit. Want to start writing? Write 1 sentence a day. Want to start exercising? Do 5 push-ups. Want to learn a new language? Learn 1 new word. The key is to make the initial step so easy that you can't say no. Success begins with showing up. It's about building momentum, creating a chain of small wins that reinforce your new identity. By starting ridiculously small, you remove the fear and overwhelm that often leads to procrastination. You make it easy to get started, and once you get started, it's much easier to keep going. So, what small step will you take today? Remember, the 2-minute rule isn't about staying small forever. It's about building a foundation for lasting change, 1 tiny step at a time. Environment, the hidden architect of your habits. Imagine an alcoholic walking into a bar. The air is thick with the smell of their favorite drink. The familiar music plays in the background. Old friends beckon from the corner booth. Everywhere they look, there are triggers, reminders of the pleasure and escape that alcohol provides. It's a constant battle against temptation, a test of willpower with the odds stacked against them. Now, imagine that same person walking into a gym. The air is fresh and clean. The motivating music pumps through the speakers. People are focused on their workouts, encouraging each other. The environment itself pushes them towards health and fitness. Suddenly, the triggers are different. Instead of alcohol, they see exercise equipment, healthy snacks, and people striving for their best selves. James Clear argues that willpower is overrated. We often overestimate our ability to resist temptation and underestimate the power of our environment. Think about it. How many times have you vowed to stick to a diet, only to find yourself reaching for the cookie jar when you're stressed? It's not a lack of willpower. It's the environment conspiring against you. Our surroundings are constantly shaping our behavior, often without us even realizing it. They're the hidden architects of our habits. And if we want to build good habits and break bad ones, we need to take control of our environment. Want to eat healthier? Don't keep junk food in the house. Stock your fridge with fruits, vegetables, and other healthy options. Want to be more productive? Create a dedicated workspace free from distractions. Want to get a better night's sleep? Dim the lights an hour before bed and turn off your screens. The key takeaway is this: redesign your surroundings for success. Don't rely on willpower. Instead, create an environment that supports the habits you want to build. Make it easy to do the right things and difficult to do the wrong things. Because when your environment works for you, success becomes not just easier, but almost inevitable. The power of never miss twice. Consistency over perfection. Building good habits is a marathon, not a sprint. And even the most dedicated among us will occasionally stumble. Life happens. You get sick. You have a busy week at work. Or sometimes, you just lack the motivation. It's inevitable that you'll miss a workout, skip a study session, or maybe even indulge in that extra slice of pizza when you're on a diet. The key isn't to be perfect, it's to be consistent. And James Clear offers a simple but powerful rule to help you stay on track. Never miss twice. Let's say you're trying to build a consistent workout routine. You've been doing great for weeks, but then one morning you oversleep and miss your workout. Don't beat yourself up about it. It happens. The important thing is what you do next. Get back on track immediately. Don't let one missed workout turn into 2, then 3, then a week. The same applies to any habit. Broke your diet? Make the next meal healthy. Skipped your meditation session? Meditate the following day. The power of never miss twice is that it prevents small slips from turning into major relapses. Clear argues that a single mistake doesn't define you. What defines you is what you do after the mistake. It's about getting back up, dusting yourself off, and recommitting to your goals. It's about building resilience and developing the mental toughness to stay consistent, even when things get tough. The never miss twice rule isn't just about the habit itself. It's about building a mindset of consistency. It's about reinforcing the belief that you are the kind of person who sticks to their commitments. It's about cultivating self-discipline and building momentum. So the next time you slip up, remember the power of never miss twice. Don't let a single mistake derail your progress. Get back on track as quickly as possible. Because a single mistake doesn't define you. What you do next does. Final takeaway: the compound effect of tiny gains. So, what's the biggest takeaway from Atomic Habits? It's not about finding the magic bullet or the one weird trick. It's not about overnight success or radical transformations. It's about understanding the power of tiny gains, repeated consistently over time. It's about the compound effect of small changes that, when accumulated, lead to extraordinary results. Think back to the British cycling team. They didn't become Olympic champions overnight. They did it by focusing on 1% improvements, day after day, month after month, year after year. And that's the key. It's not about perfection. It's about consistent progress. It's about showing up even when you don't feel like it. It's about making those small, incremental improvements that, over time, add up to something truly remarkable. Now, here's your challenge. Pick one small habit you want to build. Maybe it's drinking more water, reading every day, or meditating for just 2 minutes. Then apply the 4 laws of behavior change. Make it obvious, attractive, easy, and satisfying. And finally, commit to the 2-minute rule. Start so small that it's almost impossible to fail. Because the journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. If you found this summary helpful, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more book breakdowns like this. And tell me in the comments, what book should we summarize next? Want to dive deeper into Atomic Habits? Grab the full book or audiobook using the links below. And if you're ready to level up your mindset and join the top 1%, check out our exclusive community, where we're all about building better habits and achieving extraordinary results. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.